What to do, YouTube? MJ for Life here, back again bringing you another video. This time it's not Gen 6 Pokemon, it is Ygopro. There's a new set coming out, Legacy of the Valiant, and there's a lot of new cards, a lot of interesting cards coming out. For this video, I'm focusing on the new Gravekeeper support, so I want to do test out some of the new Gravekeeper's cards. So without further ado, let's get into it with the couple of replays I have here. First one is going to be against Chronomalies, and as soon as it loads up, I'll be able to talk about what happened. Alright, here we go. So I'm going first, I believe. I have the Apostle, but I usually like to start off with Apostle plus Veiler, so I'm going to duality, try to get a Veiler. Luckily, I am able to pull out the Veiler, so I'm fine with just setting the Space Typhoon, setting the Apostle, and ending. I like having the Veiler to protect the Apostle or Spy from potential card effects like Bear. Here he's going to try to bait out my Veiler, but I'm going to wait and go for it and wait to see what he makes with the rank 5s. He goes for a Tyrus. I'm going to Veiler that so he can't pop any of my stuff. And then he's going to attack over my Apostle, allowing me to set the Spy directly from my deck, which is really good. He's going to try and pop a card. Obviously, that won't work because I Veilered him. So he's going to set 2 and pass. I'm going to end phase Space. I'll try to hit something that will stop my summon. I do hit a D Prison, which doesn't really matter because Descendant can pop that anyway. As I draw into a third Descendant, I'm going to flip up the Spy. Spy, go for Recruiter. Then I'm going to normal summon Descendant, hope that goes through. It does go through, so now I'm just going to start popping stuff. The pop is back row, turns out to be an XYZ Reborn, so that deck is definitely XYZ focused. So I'm going to pop, no, I'm not going to pop the Tyrus because I can't. I'm going to go for number 101, another new card coming out of Legacy of the Valiant. I'm just going to take control of that Tyrus and attach it to myself as an XYZ material, and now I'm able to protect myself from destruction as well. So this number 101 is a really good card at getting over troublesome cards like the Tyrus, or Draco Sack is another example. So he's going to set a 3 and pass. I know 2 of his sets are probably nothing since he didn't set them last turn. He activates a Mirror Force, and as I said, this card also has the like a Mind Stroke effect to prevent itself from being destroyed. So I would have just detached to prevent myself from being destroyed. Attack for 21, and then he's top decking from there. So it's pretty much my game at that point because Chronomalies can't really top deck. So that was a really good match. Now we'll get into the next match, which is against Glad Beasts, and this match is going to show you how devastating Shrine of Necro Valley can be. So he's going to go for the standard Glad Beast play, which is normal summon a Glad, set 3, and say, "Come get me." I have to go for hope my commanded summon goes through, and then activate the Shrine because I know that his deck is special summon heavy. So luckily the summon went through. What am I trying to say? He didn't stop my summon, so I'm able to get the summon through. I'm able to activate Necro Valley. He didn't like Space Typhoon or anything, so he didn't have any real response to what I could do. So basically, I'm just gonna lock him out for the rest of the game because he can't do anything. His deck is his deck is special summon based, so he can't do anything. And I can just play as safe as I want, not make any unnecessary plays. I do have the 2 tombs in the back row to protect myself, for example. So against this Torrential Tribute, I'm just going to Royal Tomb that and stop that from happening. And then I'm not going to attack because he probably has a Mirror Force or Deep Prisons back there. And again, I can play as safe as possible because Glads don't typically play Space Typhoon because they have a whole bunch of other back row that they'd rather play instead of Space Typhoon. So I'm not really worried about my Necro Valley or my Shrine getting destroyed. And I did draw into another one just in case. So what I'm doing now basically is waiting for a Spy. I figure, or Spy or Recruiter. He's going to flip up his quest to try and bait me into attacking, but I was born at night, not last night, so I know there's probably something there, most likely a Mirror Force. But anyway, so I'm going to wait for a Spy or a Recruiter so I can start getting rid of some of the back row as well as getting pluses. As long as I sit here, as long as I have a Gravekeeper plus Necro Valley on the field, he cannot special summon, so his deck is completely shut down. So he's just hoping that I'll attack him so that he can activate his Mirror Force or whatever he has back there. I think it actually ended up being a Mirror Force. Yeah, it did end up being a Mirror Force. So I draw into a duality, fortunately for me. So now I have a really high chance of getting either a Spy or a Recruiter, and I get the one that I would rather have, which is the Spy, because that's going to give me 2 free pops. So I'm going to set the Spy. He's going to draw into another trap that he can't use, and at this point he's just going to give up because I flip Spy. I get 2 pops. If he War Chariots it, I can stop that with a Royal Tomb and then just start popping everything. Now, if he had multiple War Chariots, that would have been unfortunate. So what I probably would have done is pop the Commandant to hit this quest first, so just in case he has a War Chariot, because since he needs a Glad Beast to have a War Chariot, I can stop 1 War Chariot, pop the quest to make his other potential War Chariots dead, then I want to flip the Spy and go from there. So that's what was going to happen, and he realized that, so he's just going to end and just quit. So yeah, so let's get into the next match, which is against Heraldic Beasts. And this match is, after this match, I ended up changing my deck a bit. So I'm going to go first. Luckily, I have a Veiler plus Spy, which is a really, really great first turn for Gravekeepers. So he's got a whole bunch of stuff in his hand. He's going to go for the Leo, attempt to attack over my face down, but it's a Spy, so he won't be able to do anything. And I'm going to be able to get a free Recruiter off of that, as he's going to get set four cards and then get a search off of Leo. So Heraldic Beasts have a really nice searching capabilities with the Leo, and they actually got some new support cards as well. So I'm gonna activate the Necro Valley, then activate Duality because I don't plan on special summoning any. I think I'm going to take that Solemn Warning. I don't know why I wouldn't. And I'm going to normal summon Descendant. Unfortunately, he does torrential me, and that really hurts. That was one key play that really hurt me. I was able to get a search off of it, so I'm going to search for the Apostle. But the problem is now that he knows I have an Apostle, what he's going to do here is search for the Basilisk off of the Leo, and then that Basilisk is going to troll me this entire game. I swear to God. So he's going to get some big damage in. I'm not too worried about it. I'm surprised he didn't XYZ. I guess because I had a Solemn Warning, that's why he didn't XYZ. Now to think about it. So I'm going to set the Apostle, and he knows, and I know that he knows that it's an Apostle set. So I know that he's probably going to summon his Basilisk, attack over me, and Basilisk's effect will destroy me by effect instead of battle. So I'm going to Veiler that, hoping he'll still attack me, but he's a bit smarter than that, not going to attack me, which is fine. So now what I have to do, since I did draw into the tomb, I have to normal summon my Commandant and attack over this Basilisk, get this damn thing off of the field. Fortunately, he tried to safe zone it, but I'm able to Space Typhoon it. But unfortunately for me, he's going to chain the Book of Moon. Now, luckily, I was able to bait out 2 back rows, so I still feel comfortable because I do have the tomb, so I can stop anything he wants to do. Unfortunately for me, he draws into the field spell there, and now here I make a mistake of Solemn Warning, using Solemn Warning on that XYZ when I really didn't need to. I just didn't know what it was, and I was just like, man, let's get that thing out of here. But unfortunately, with my lack of knowledge and my lack of patience from reading the thing, I didn't realize that he was actually going to get pluses when that thing got destroyed, and he just draws into my, I think he was able to add High Medallion Arts with the field spell anyway, so he could have just made it again anyway, so I guess it really didn't matter. But now he's basically cleared my field, and I mean, it's not looking very good for me right now. But I have to get rid of this goddamn Basilisk. So what I'm going to do is attack into the Basilisk, kill it, just get destroyed by its effect, obviously, get a search off of that. I'm going to search for Commandant. Now, basically, I searched for Commandant here, 1 to deck in, 2 to kind of bluff him into thinking that the back row that I had was actually something useful. It is Tomb, I believe, still. Yeah, it is Tomb, but I can't use that now. So he's going to fall for it. And make a much smarter play there, because if that was torrential, obviously he would lose his field. But I do top deck into a Dark Hole. Luckily, he is going to get an effect when it is sent to the graveyard, but that's fine by me, because what I'm going to do here is set the Veiler and just hope to have a chance in this duel. I still do have a chance though, since he didn't draw into a monster there. I draw into another Royal Tomb, so that's going to help me later potentially. But here's the problem though. Basically, he's going to draw into a monster, another Basilisk, or another thing that control me. So what I need to do here is I need a Gravekeeper. I need to draw into a Gravekeeper right here, right now. Unfortunately, I draw into Dark Arm, the worst draw ever, and that's pretty much the game. So after this game, I actually took Dark Arm out of my deck. I really haven't found it to be too helpful. I mean, it's really good early to mid game, but late game, it's completely dead draw, especially when Necro Valley's on the field, because you can't even use its effect, and you play too many darks, so by the time it comes to late game, it's completely dead anyway. So I took it out of the deck after this. So now we'll get into the last battle, which is the duel, which is Gravekeeper's Mirror Match. But I obviously did not know that at the time. But look at that hand. Look, he's playing this Gravekeeper Shaman card, and I don't really think this card is necessary. It is another new card coming out in Legacy of the Valiant, but I don't really feel like you need this card whatsoever. So I'm gonna play the slow game. I feel like my deck has the advantage. Gravekeepers has the advantage in the slow game. So I'm actually gonna reveal what I'm playing here quite early when I didn't really need to. But I'm gonna normal summon the Descendant, and he's gonna Solemn Warning that right away. I'm just gonna activate Necro Valley just to stop him from whatever he may want to do. Again, I don't know that he's playing Gravekeepers at the time. But since I'm playing Gravekeepers, I feel confident in my ability to win the long drawn out game. Unless I'm playing something like Burn or something like that. I'm other than that, I mean, I feel really confident going up against in the long run with long drawn out duels. But anyway, he's gonna summon Descendant. I'm gonna pay him back, and I'm gonna warning his Descendant. And I probably should have Veilered one of the Gravekeeper's guards, but I really wanted to save the Veiler for a Spy or a Descendant. And I do have Dark Hole, so I'm not really worried. He is going to get a search off of the Dark Hole, but I really need to just reset the field right now. I feel like that's going to be the best thing for me. So I'm going to go for the Dark Hole, just destroy everything. He's going to get a search off of that, but I'm not really worried. I'm resetting the field here, basically. He's got, I highly doubt he's playing more than 2 Gravekeeper's guards, so I've gotten rid of all of his guards, which is really nice. So now we're back to just setting cards again, as Gravekeepers typically like to do. And what he's going to draw into a bunch of stuff. He's going to flip up the Spy. I'm going to chain Maxi. I saved the Veiler, so if he goes for Descendant, I don't even care. But he's going to go for the Assailant instead, and I don't want to take any more damage, so I'm going to Veiler that Assailant so he can't move my stuff to attack mode. That's definitely not happening. And I draw into another Veiler off the Maxi. He's going to attack into my Apostle, allowing me to set the Spy directly from my deck, which is really good for me. Then he's going to attack into my Recruiter. I don't know why he did that, because since he knew I was playing Gravekeepers at that point, he should know that I mean, the only thing he could attack over is Apostle, and that would just give me another card. But he's going to go for Black Ship of Corn, and I'm going to Veiler that, because I do not want to take any more unnecessary damage. And at this point, he decides to quit. He knows that next turn I'll be able to get my Descendant and start popping stuff, and start getting my consistency going, my searches going. Looking at his hands, he's got 2 Shamans, and this card doesn't matter because with Descendant, we'll be able to pop it. And this card, I mean, he could attack over the Descendant, but it really wouldn't help him much. Because I can still have the advantage in the long run. So, and I also have Gravekeeper Steel, so he didn't really feel like he had much of a chance, especially with these 2 cards. I mean, maybe I can understand 1, but 2 is definitely way too many. But that's gonna do it for the duels, and we'll get into the deck profile shortly after this. Okay, guys, so this is the deck profile. So we'll go over the cards really quickly and some of the reasons why I have them. So, Commanded, 3 Commanded, it's really obvious. So let's searches out Necro Valley, so it's a must-have in the Gravekeeper's deck. It's also a 2100 attacker with Necro Valley on the field, so it's really good. Descendant, probably the best Gravekeeper card. Allows you to pop cards as long as you have face-up Gravekeepers other than itself, so really, really good. Spy, this is the card you want to have first turn, either this or Apostle. Really sets up your plays and gets the deck going. Recruiter is the card that's going to give you consistent searches. Obviously, this card's really, really good because it can search out pretty much any Gravekeeper except for Spy and Guard, which are really the only ones that are actually good. I mean, these are Spy, Guard is another one that you can play. Then there's Apostle. This is the new card that's coming out of Legacy of the Valiant. This is another card. This is they basically got another first turn opener because before it was just Spy. If they didn't really open up with Spy, they were gonna have a really hard time in the duel. Previous Gravekeepers decks were playing stuff like Malefic Cyber End Dragon to have just another big monster to throw out first turn, just in case they didn't get a Spy. But you definitely would rather have a Spy, have that survive, flip up Recruiter, then normal summon Descendant, and you get 2 pops with it. And this card really helps you with that because when it's destroyed by battle, it allows you to basically just set Spy directly from your deck. Now you don't have to go for Spy, but 9 times out of 10, even 9.9 times out of 10, you're going to be going for Spy. The reason why you wouldn't go for Spy is probably just because some obscure situations where you would need something else. Maybe like you need a Commanded to go for a Mistworm or something like that. Then 2 Maxi because it's very standard in this current metagame. And then Triple Veiler, as I said in the video, I like to have Veiler plus Spy or Veiler plus Apostle just to protect these 2 cards from something like Bear. I really like to open up that. It's really, really good opening as far as the Gravekeeper deck is concerned. Then for the spells, we have 1 Allure of Darkness, Pointing Dark, so why not? I did take out Dark Arm, as I said before. I had it in here initially, then I took it out because it's just a dead draw most of the times. 1 Dark Hole because it's a staple. 2 Duality, I think 3 is too much, but 2 is, I think, a really good number. 2 Gravekeeper Steel, I really like this card. At 2, it really helps you recycle some of your resources like Recruiter, a Commandant, or a Spy. Really the main cards you want to go for, even sometimes a Descendant. So I really like it. The Triple Space Typhoon, this is my own personal preference. I love Triple Space Typhoon. I hate back row. As you can see, I don't really have a lot of back row. Most of my decks don't really have a lot of back row, so the back row, the Spell and Trap hate is good. I love it, so Triple Space Typhoon. I was testing out Triple Shrine of Necro Valley and Triple Royal Tomb of Necro Valley. These cards, sometimes they can be dead draw, especially when you draw multiples in the opening hand. It's really, really bad. So maybe, bring these down to 2 and then put some other traps in, maybe like a Compulse and a Torrential, something like that maybe. Yeah, 3 may be a bit much. There are times when you draw you know, two Royal Shrine of Necro Valley, two Royal Tombs, and then a Gravekeeper and like Valor, and it's just like, unless it's not Spy, then you're in a bad way. Like if you draw like, you know, those 4 cards plus Descendant plus Valor, yeah, that's not a really great hand. You're pretty much set up to lose from there. So those things happen, but then again, it's Yu-Gi-Oh, so that'll happen regardless, you know, no matter what you're playing. Although maybe running 3 would increase the chances of that happening. So 3 may be a bit much. It's just up to you to decide. Again, I was just testing it out. Obviously 3 Necro Valley because this is the card of the deck. 1 Bottomless and one Solemn. Really good traps, nice traps to have, and then obviously 3 Royal Tomb. This is like an Infernity Barrier, but it's much more fair than Infernity Barrier because you can only activate 1 per turn, so you definitely have to use this wisely, and I really like that Konami's making these newer cards a bit fairer. Like Shrine of Necro Valley would have been busted if it said if you just changed and to or. So if you have Necro Valley or a Gravekeeper's monster on the field, you can activate this card, and then you know they can't trust a summon. And if it had that text, like you know, kind of like the E-Dragons do, how you can banish 2 fires and or dragon types, then this card would have been broken and it would have been way too good. But luckily, it does have the and, so it's really fair, and I like that about these 2 cards. Now onto the extra deck. 1 Mistworm, 1 Armades, and 1 Catastrophe for the Synchros. Then a bunch of rank 4 XYZs. Pretty much all these are staples for rank 4 decks. This card is also coming out of Legacy of the Valiant number 101. This is a really good card. Another new staple rank 4 in my opinion. It just gets rid of problem cards like Stardust, Tyrus, Dragosack, what else? Like Battling Boxer, Yugioh, stuff that can prevent itself from being destroyed. It just gets rid of it straight away. Just you take that, control that monster and attach it to yourself as an XYZ material, and then you can use that monster to protect yourself from being destroyed. So it's really good in that aspect, and it just helps you get over problem cards. So I really like this card, but that's going to do it for the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here. Deuces.